Yeah.
And they begin to appreciate even those who are not at home.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? Okay, so let's go back to the music of 2015.
So 2015, we put out Rugendo EP with Kwame. And at the same time, we were wrapping up the material by Wangeshi. So at this time, we with Kwame, we finished the songs because we were only 4. And I think I only had to do 3 because 1 was already done. But with Wangeshi, now we are working like crazy.
Yo.
So we're working. I'm going to the studio every other day. I'm going Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
So you flew back in now?
No, I'm still here.
Okay.
So I'm going to the studio Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And we had this thing where we were going to make at least 3 tracks a day.
3 tracks a day?
Yes. I have a vault. I have like a file full of tracks that we did.
Yo.
That if they came out right now, they would still be fire.
So 3 tracks a day, including her. So it's not 3 instrumentals.
3 instrumental tracks for her.
Okay.
And then we would record them for Wangeshi.
And she would record.
Yeah.
She would drop.
She recorded some of them, and most of them ended up on the Do Not Consume If Seal Is Broken EP. And so I worked on, I think I worked on only but 4 tracks. Yeah. And 2 of the tracks were by Festus.
Yeah.
My buddy.
Yep.
And then the other ones, we made them from scratch in the studio.
Yeah, with Provoke.
With Provoke.
Yo.
So I would sit down and play the keys, come up with the chords. Yeah, I would come up with the bass lines. And sometimes we would create a track with the bass line and everything, and then he would bring in a bass player and a guitar player, and that's how I met. The other guy that I forgot to mention was Fadhili Itulia. That's how I met him. So Fadhili Itulia played a lot of guitars on that project, and then a bass player called Samuel Mbaluka played on that album. A couple of songs on that album.
Yeah.
So finished it, and then I think at that same time they were doing a show called 10 Cities that was sponsored by Goethe.
Yep.
Is it Goethe or Goth?
Goethe Institute. That's
Goethe
what
Institute,
it is. Yeah.
yes. It was in they were working from Blinky's and Dilly's studio. So I went there, and that's how I met Blinky. And I met Giuliani. I met Octopizzo. Okay, Giuliani, we know he remembers me. But Octopizzo was just a one we met. I don't think he would even remember me. But Blinky, yeah. And I didn't meet Dilly that time. I don't think he was there. And I met, that's the first time the first and only time I met, what's her name? Fena. And at that time, she was working a lot with Jazz Odongo.
Yep.
Yeah, and so we were. I remember we were arranging for their performance, and I remember Provoke called up Jazz and asked for the chord progressions for a song that she was supposed to perform, and I played the keys, so we made the track. And then when we were doing that, he was working on a song. I think he was working on something for Wangeshi and Fena. So he's like, hey, play me some chords and a bass line. And that's what ended up being, I think that's the only song they have together. Yeah. But also at that same time, in that festival, the 10 Cities, there happened to be this guy from Angola called DJ Satellite. So when I came in and I was playing the keys on it for some of that stuff that Provoke was preparing for Fena, and then the other one for Wangeshi, the guy was watching. He's like, man, I like how you play. Yeah, I have some stuff that I want you to hear. I want you to play the keys for me. So I was like, okay. Me at this point, I just want to collaborate with whoever I can.
Yeah.
We go into the studio and he plays me some music. Now it's Afro house, but now with a kuduro like vibe, a mixture of like, I was like, I've never had anything like this. Hey, I'm like, what is this? It's like, yeah, that's what's popping in Angola right now. Yeah, I'm like, okay. Lay down the keys for him on a couple of tracks, and then I think that day they were being dropped by a bus to their hotel.
Yeah.
I'm the one that drove him because we hung out that whole evening.
Yeah.
And then so I dropped him off, and then I went home. But we kept in touch. We ended up forming a production outlet, like a production group. We work independently, but also we work together. Collaboratively, and it's called the Exchange Project, and it's still there up till now. But the members have dwindled, so it's just me, Satellite, and Festus, who are very active in
that group.
Because whatever thing I do with music, I always drag Festus. Like I never leave.
Has Festus ever been here?
No.
Not yet.
No.
Yeah.
But he's like already in Kenya with Kina Kwame, with Ayrosh, but he's never been here. With Kipsang, but he's never been here.
And is he still in production wherever he is?
Yeah.
Yo.
Even though he has a full-time job, this is a guy who he's summoned all the way to PhD, but he still does the music.
So, is this something that now again back to, first of all, I love how you collaborate. I love how you even know the industry better than me now. Like, my God, like you're naming guys, I'm just like, who is that?
Yeah.
Because you've put your small toe in, the next thing your foot is, no, dude, now it's just your kipara over here.
No, that's the thing. It's just growing.
That's all that's left that hasn't been submerged. I mean, like your toes are in. I mean, your whole body is submerged in.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're talking so much. I'm like, dude, are you ever in States by any chance?
Yeah. So all of this happens whenever I come. And like I told you, I try to make the best of the time that I have, because I know I don't have a lot of time here. So usually I have like a month or a month and a half. So in that month and a half, I make sure I put in serious work so that I can go with as much music as possible to work on for the next period. I'm gonna be away. So, but also I learned the importance of networking with people. Because I get introduced to this person, to this person, to this person. And that way, like I also learn how to build a relationship for myself with that person outside of the person who introduced me.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
And is that difficult?
Well, it depends with people's personalities, man. No, it's not difficult. Yeah. You kind of learn how to weed out who you know you're going to be able to work with and who you're not going to be able to work with.
Yeah.
Like now, I met Zach in 2014 and we still work. I met Giggz in 2015 and we're still working even now. Like he's one of the guys that, because it's the diaspora, being in the music scene in the diaspora can be lonely and can be tough. So we call each other a lot to encourage each other. But because we are, like I told you with Kwame, how like we're friends.
Yeah.
I think everybody that I work with, I have a friendship that if we're not doing music,
you're still cool.
I can have a friendship with them outside of music. That's with Chris, but Chris is because we went to school together.
Yeah.
Then come to find out later, our parents know each other. They grew up in the same area. So, and then he was from Gedo, I was from Ruiru, so we were not far from each other. Now there's the guy who works on my stuff a lot. His name is called Jay Mukasa, but his company is called Tawala Beats.
And he's here?
He's here. Now the way we met, I was doing the remixes for, Get Muziki, and I did a remix for Data by Prof. He went and listened to it and he's like, I love this mix. How did you do it? Can you mentor me? I was like, no problem.
Yo.
So we started a conversation, and I asked him, so you do production? He's like, yeah, but I'm in law school. He was in University of Nairobi at that time. So we talk, we started on SoundCloud. Then we moved to now
FB or something.
FB. Then we moved to like exchanging, emails and then contacts. So when I came back the second time in 2011, he was one of the first guys that I went to visit in his studio in Utawala. So we sat down and we worked on a song. It's still there, the beat is there because it's nice, but mostly the most important thing was just having a conversation, because I needed to understand where he's going, what he's expecting from me. But so I was like, no problem, I'll show you whatever I know. But now things are flipped around. He's the one who's teaching me stuff.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, so he's the one who's even like, he's like, you know how this works and everything. I'm like, no, how does it work? So he's telling me. He's like, okay. But now he finished law school, and I was like, because I remember when I told him, I'm gonna need a lawyer down the road. And I told him, you're gonna be my lawyer, while he was in law school. So now, fast forward like years, that was in 2012. Now fast forward to like 9 years, he's the one who does all my work.
Okay. I want to ask some, not per se chronological questions, but more so fundamentals, your thinking, your vision in terms of where you're going. So for example, somebody may be watching this and they're like, I'm just about to hit this guy up into the DM and ask him to make a beat.
Okay.
You get, how do people go about working with you? First of all, I know you're picky with who you work with.
Yeah.
So just tell us a little bit more so that you just don't get an overflux of people in the DM.
Yeah.
What do you expect, or how do you work?
What do I expect?
Not even what do you expect, like what's the way to work with you?
The way to work with me is like, first of all, I have to enjoy your music. I feel like I have to, or I have to see potential. And if I see potential in what you're doing, I start seeing I start envisioning what role I can play in your sound, in your music, in your direction. And I think to me, even most important thing is, where's your head at in what you're doing? What are you doing? Why are you doing it? Why me? Why did you pick me? Because I'm trying to figure that out so I can know whether it's worth it or not. Yeah. So if I like what you're doing, so there's two ways. You can either pay, or we can either come up with an agreement for a song exchange. Yeah.
And what do you mean by a song exchange?
Song exchange is like, I get one song where I control it, the master rights and everything, and then you get a song where you control the master rights. But so it's contribution.
I get what you mean.
The singing, the lyrics and everything, and I contribute the music.
Nice.
Yeah.
First of all, that song exchange idea is so brilliant.
Yes.
But why do you do it? What is it that you see about the future of where music is?
Publishing. And it's, you have to look at the music in, what you're doing in two ways: long game, short game. So me, I feel like where I've reached in my career, I'm past that.
Quick buck.
Even though I want it, I might need it, but I'm like, is that hustle of upkeeping with the trendiness and everything, do I have the energy for that? And I'm like, honestly, no. So I start playing the long game. I want to collect money from my music even when I'm not doing anything. And how do I do that? Is by strategically making music that will make sense even 20 years from now.
Oh man, that's powerful.
Yeah. So I can still make music that's relevant now, and if it will happen, it will happen, but I just don't force it. Yeah.
And then in terms of, first of all, I really love that idea. So in terms of now, you coming home, what is it that you see that you want to do here, if you're okay to talk about that, by the way, that makes you keep coming back and being this evolved in the Kenyan, in the African industry, music industry?
First of all, I'll start with Kenyan, is how much potential we have.
Dude, you're in States. Are you trying to tell me even from here, this is what you see?
Like if you're competing at the States, you're competing at a different level. Like these guys, come on, look at who's in the States. But now look at where our industry is. Our industry is in the
infant stage.
Yes. And just like a kid, it can have that shooting stage where because we haven't even done as much as Niger has. because those guys, the industry has really moved quickly. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, there's so much potential over here. Then also, this is home. I have to invest in home first before I go somewhere else. That's just how I feel.
So can I ask, what is it that you want to do here? Or you're not ready to talk about it?
No, I can talk about it, but I feel like it's still continuous.
Okay, yeah. Wonderful.
So, to me, the most important thing is leaving a legacy. And what by that I mean is I want to mentor as many people as I can. I want to, help in any way that I can, like build I want to be part of what's the Kenyan industry growing. Yeah. Yeah. Because I want to be part of something that will represent, home, where you want to see home go, which is, I feel like that's a lot of people's, view on their contribution, how they want it. So yeah, I want to see the industry here go to another level.
I love it.
Yeah.
Again, from now Kenyan diaspora perspective, looking at the Kenyan music industry, what do you see needs to change? Remember, right now I'm just throwing questions from
there needs to be a more intentional collaboration, or just not even collab. Okay, because they collaborate, but it needs to be. Sometimes it feels a little bit generic. It needs to be
authentic. When you say it feels generic, explain to me
It feels like secondhand. Because we feel like we're out, you feel like an outsider in your own home. You've been away, but yet I'm still from here. So over there you're already aware you're an outsider. Then you come home, you feel like you're an outsider again. I'm like, So it needs to be more natural, more intentional, more honest. Yeah, more.
So are you feeling like you're banging on doors to have conversations that normal people would have?
Sometimes.
So we as the ones at home, you're trying to say, by the way, I want you to be so direct, so that guys don't say you are being ambiguous with your answers. I want you to be, and also maybe we don't know. You get? Maybe, and I remember I've used the word we. You get? Yeah. And probably I've been one of those guys, to be honest, where I'm sometimes always in my own hustle. Waithaka is hitting me up. I'm like, yo, dude, I'm busy. I'll get back to you, and then I don't get back to you.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
That is one of the problems, and I think also how things operate. If you tell someone, especially, one thing I've had to, even when I'm working on stuff, is I always tell people, especially if you're working with me, first of all, my time, time difference.
Yeah.
You guys, when I'm over there, you're 8, sometimes 9 hours ahead. So when you guys are waking up, I have to stay up late so that it can be morning. So let's say, for instance, when we're releasing a song, I usually stay up late. So at least when it's past midnight over there, and here it's been released let's say 8 a.m. in the morning, I'm awake. So I can post everything. Yeah. Then I go to bed because I have to sleep, because I have to be up at 6 to get the kids up, to get them ready to school. Yes, I still have responsibilities as a father, to make sure my kids are ready for school and all of that, on top of promoting my work. So I'm going to sleep late, and then I have to wake up early. So usually, because of how I work, I sleep at the most 5 hours. And it's not that I'm working like that, but it's just the way the time difference is set up. But I usually, when I drop off the kids, I usually come back and sleep 2 hours.
Yeah.
And then I wake up, I go pick up, my son. We hang out before I go pick up the other one from school. And I'm working on my stuff, keeping an eye on him, making sure, like if we have anything to do, he's done. And then when, what I had to learn, and it's something that I was really bad about, was I needed to separate time for my work and for family.
Yeah.
Because, man, there's a time I was so obsessed, like I used to have my headphones on all the time with the laptop, and my wife used to hate it.
Yeah.
So I've been working on it, and I'm still working on it, like it's a work in progress.
Tuko wengi.
Yeah, I know. So,
Yep.
so I'm juggling the role of a father, a husband, and a musician. And over there's no nanny help. At least you have a nanny here. So me over there.
My wife's been gone for 2 days.
And
I'm like, yo, bro.
No, but I enjoy it because I see how my kids, we have a system. And to me, it works. It's flawless. It's easy. They know what's expected. Even let's say when it's time to go to school, we wake up, they know straight to the bathroom, shower.
Yeah.
They know all of that because it's all training. And then weekends, that's when usually if I set up any sessions to record. And yes, I've been recording, there's this guy, and also it's leveraging your skills. So the same guy who was told by the Wachi, kama uko na pesa za kwenda huko, has a guy who fixed his fence. He introduced me to the guy. He's a Mexican. And guess what? He sings. So he comes and he's like, yeah, my friend, your friend Bonnie. Yeah, he tell me you make music. I'm like, yeah, okay. I come record one day. I'm like, oh. He's like, send me some of your stuff. He sends me his stuff. I'm like, holy, what?
It's good.
So he comes, so we need to fix our fence in our house. He's like, okay, I'll fix your fence. And then part of it, we pay with studio time. So we paid part of it I'm recording.
Because of that, what you've said, I want to, on your behalf, because I know you're a nice guy, you don't want to blast Kenyans. Me, I feel nada. I'm going to blast them on your behalf. Wa Kenya, especially the ones who are here at home, do not start hitting this guy up in the DM asking him for free songs. You have to come with value. When a time where value needs to be returned with value. Ask him what his rate is. If you can't afford it, figure out a way to give him value.
I'm glad you said that, yes.
I'm saying it for you, and I haven't finished saying. Don't go up there asking guys for free songs. That's not how this world operates.
No.
He's got 2 kids, he's got bills that needs to be paid. This is what he does. Because I know Kenyans at home here, we have a habit of tafadhali sinitengeneze tu kabit.
There you go.
You get?
Yeah.
Those are the kind of guys you don't want right now.
Not that.
And it's
also how you approach me.
Exactly.
Yes,
and
change your approach.
Exactly. You'll be shocked what happens when you change your approach.
Yeah.
You get?
Yeah.
You're not saying come with $1 million.
No.
But you're just saying let your approach be worth it to me as well.
Yeah, and it has to be respectful in a way, like you also respect what I'm bringing to the table.
Yeah.
Yeah. And don't come to the table with some sort of entitlement upon her.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, because there it's a value exchange. And that's the whole idea of the song exchange. The song exchange is value exchange. And it's something that was taught by Keisha. Because I was asking him, how do you work with all these guys? Like, oh yeah, sometimes charging for a song is hard. Why don't you just... And I think that goes back to even... I think that happens in the US. And the more I learned about it, I started asking myself, hold on. If one artist is featured on this guy's album, when the other guy puts out an album, they have a song together. And I started asking myself, is that what they did? They're like, you feature me on your album and I'll feature you on my album.
Yeah. Value exchange.
Yeah, sometimes you don't have to exchange money.
I get it.
Yeah.
But again, even at the same breath, I want to also blast the diaspora or challenge them.
Yeah.
Because I believe sometimes you have the resources to support the creative engine in this place.
They have the ability to pay.
You've got the ability to pay. You'll be shocked what $1 means here as compared to what it may mean there.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? $5 may mean here But not only that, I challenge you to stop looking at us as third world or as tuko nyuma. Sayote. Tuko nyuma in everything. There are things to ask those guys about MPESA.
Hey,
Ask those guys about
call him MPESA.
You get what I mean? So you need to I keep saying the digital value economy. Anytime value has been given to you, you need to give back value.
You need to give back
value. It is not an option.
No.
The digital infrastructure is there for value to be exchanged.
And if something is one-sided, why should the other person be invested in it?
Dude, I've been sitting here with you having a conversation for how long?
Hey.
You get what I mean? And the value is it's what you have shared. You see, what you've been able to share so that other people can get your experience. So those people in the diaspora are able to understand what your experience is like here.
Yeah.
So I think the diaspora, one, come back home or to invest.
You get
what I mean?
Yes.
Or figure out how do I even come back home? And investing can be you coming home for a holiday.
Yeah.
And in
that's how it started for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how it started for me.
Because that shrooms get to stick here. I don't just speak negatively.
No.
But again, I go back to the same breath of Kenyans. Because when I'm talking about people back home who abuse the diaspora. Money is sent back home for reinvestment, you're just stealing money. So there's so much murkiness, and I think we're just beginning to fix it. What are you?
Yes, because there's a huge population that will never come back.
Yep.
And there's also another huge population that don't want anything to do with Kenya. Them, they're gone. As long as they take care of their family, don't even tell them anything about Kenya.
Yeah.
They don't want to hear it. Then there's another group that's like, man, there's so much, they want to come back. But is it feasible?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was watching, there's this guys, they do skits. And they had one skit that was like how to approach an African girl. And the main character is a Kenyan girl. And she's hilarious. And I'm like, what? And this guy is a YouTuber, he's very popular. I keep on forgetting his name. Okay, I keep on forgetting people's names, like I said, but I know how he looks. I can actually see like even a skit, and I was like, wow. And when you go to the comment sections, you see the comments are like, man, you need to
Crazy Kena.
Yeah.
If it's not Crazy Kena is worth checking out. Or is it Flaco?
No. This is it's in the diaspora.
Oh, okay, nice. Oh,
yeah.
Shucks. Okay.
So she's featured in like by one of the biggest YouTubers who do skits.
Nice.
And she was hilarious, and you start noticing there's people doing things, but there's that connection between back home and there.
Yeah.
Is not there.
I get it.
Yeah, and it's tough, especially when you're trying to break into a market. Because, for instance, like when I was living in the US, there was a big fight that a lot of Black British artists, actors are taking jobs for like, African Americans.
Yeah.
And the reason it's happening is because these guys, like, they have each other's back. Like, even when you see, what's his name? Daniel Kaluuya. Okay. Then there's another guy. There's another guy.
Kenyans.
His name is Idris something. No.
Idris Elba.
He's a younger guy.
Okay.
And like they met, and you see them how they're like relating and how they're talking, and they're like talking about how they are from the estates, because the hood in the UK is called estates. From the estates to Hollywood, like you see just that camaraderie.
Yeah.
We don't have that, especially as Kenyans.
Yeah.
We don't have it at all. One of the best directors of photography, whose videos have doing billions of views, is a guy from here called Anthony Kimata.
Yeah. Is he around?
I don't know if he left.
Man, I'd like to sit down with him for this.
And then his cousin is Andrew Macharia, who used to shoot a lot of Camp Mula videos.
Yes.
These are guys that I end up knowing them. We talk. Andrew Macharia linked me up with Kipsang. He's like, you gotta work with this guy. You have to work. And he insisted. And I'm glad he did. Because Kipsang, I've worked with him. Then everything is funny how it comes all together, because now Kipsang ended up working with Jay of Tawala Beats. And he's like, yeah, there's this guy that I'm working with, he's called Kipsang. I'm like, yeah, no, Kipsang, I've worked with him. Like, oh, okay, yeah. And, you know, he mentioned you, but he
hadn't connected.
He hadn't connected it. Now, you know, Kipsang is a very good singer, and he's started moving towards. Remember the way Kwame went the Kikwe and everything? Now him is going towards the Kale way, the Kipsigis, and he's making some very nice songs, you know, like bringing another element to that sound.
I love it.
Yeah.
Dude, you know, we've been vibing for so long, and I don't want to, at any moment of time, what do you call, diminish the achievements that you've done within the music industry. But I honestly feel that your story is just beginning.
Yeah.
I feel like, Yani.
Hold on, let me tell.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I feel like you're just at the beginning of this new chapter
of
your life, where finally some home recognition is coming, a lot of collaborations, a lot of relationships that you're building here. I want you to do a parting shot about whatever it is that you may want to do, but in that, let people know how they can get in touch with you.
So,
and first of all, is there anything that you really feel like you need to say that I left out? Okay, say.
I've left out a lot. Wow.
Dude, you know, I keep telling people, 42 years, how long are 42 years old? 42 years cannot be compressed into what do you call this thing? Into 10 hours.
No.
It can't. But what I like doing on this thing is just giving just a snippet. That makes sense. But anyway, whatever you feel like you need to share.
I think it's more of like I felt like I haven't given credit to a lot of people.
Okay, no problem.
You know, so